Well, now, on this video, I'm going to take you through exactly how to retire in 10 years. It's a mission that I'm on in, and you can join me and we can do exactly that. You know why? Before I even say anything, let me tell you one secret. There are two types of retirements, if you didn't know. By the way, even if you ignore this video or you watch it, the fact remains you will retire. Now, you see that retire that I've just said? That's what we call forceful retirement. There's something called there's what we call the forceful retirement or a must retirement, okay? Forceful retirement. This is when they tell you, you know what, you are 65 years old if you're a Kenyan, somewhere else is 60, I don't know, whatever it is. Now they tell you you're no longer productive, go ahead and go home. We no longer need your services and take your pension, go eat slowly. That's what we call the forceful retirement. You don't have any option. You have to go for that retirement. And then there is option 2 retirement. The option 2 retirement is what we call decisional retirement. It's called decision or decision-based retirement, okay? Now, when we say the decision-based retirement, this is when you say, guess what? Before I even hit that 60 years, I'm or 65 years or whatever the time it is, how about I sacrifice myself from today for next 10 years and I'm going to enjoy myself the rest of the life. I don't have to live in a way where people dictating to me that I have to enjoy my life after 60. I can make that decision. And now that's the best thing that you can ever do. By the way, I've ever seen somebody somewhere who has actually invested and they relax, they just eat their money and they do vacations and what have you. Today on this video, I'm going to share with you, the next 15 minutes, I'm going to share with you how to actually retire in 10 years. Okay, now that you've understood there are two types of retirement, let's check the best one, the decision-based retirement. Okay, now let's make a promise. Let's have a deal. I'm going to share with you valuable information on this video for the next 15 minutes. I dare promise you it will be a valuable minute, and dare promise me that you're going to subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit that like button and leave me a comment section. All right, thank you for that deal. Let's go to the business now. Here we are. First of all, before you even speak the language of retirement, ask yourself this question. What is a retirement? What do I need for that retirement? What do I need for the next 10 years before I term myself as a retired individual? Ask yourself, what do you need? All right. Now, the question is, hey, I need the next amount of money in the future, but you bring yourself together today and ask yourself, where am I? So far, so good. What are you doing? I'm employed. How much do you make per month? Let's say, for example, I make up approximately 50,000 a month. I make, let's say, 50,000 a month. Now, this 50,000 a month is what I'm able to pay for my recurrent expenditure. Let's say my recurrent expenditure, I usually set aside like 25,000. If I set 25,000, then it means I'm able to pay my rent, to eat, drink, and do other things. I'm just using 25 as an example. You can actually use your own numbers, okay? Now, the question is this. Therefore, if I was to retire in 10 years, I want to create a system that will manage to give me this 50,000 without me doing anything, and this 50,000 will actually be able to cater for my needs and goods. You can choose 50, you can choose 60, you can choose 100, you can choose whatever the number it is. Just identify what you need at what period of time. We already know what we need, or rather we already know it's 10 years. What we need is different from me, to you, to somebody else. So let's say you need 50,000 at the end of the year. Now you ask yourself, what exactly should I need to do for me to do this? Let's say out of this amount of money, 25 goes for the recurrent expenditure. On top of that, something else like your black tax, blah, 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 and all those kind of things. Let's say you only manage to save 10,000 at the end of the month. This is the money that goes towards your savings. Because we usually create our investments by that what we can manage to save from our salaries or from that money that we make. We channel that money towards an investment or a business so that we can create a system that can give us this 50,000. Therefore, we can be able to drop that what we do as an employment and rely on what we've created as an investment or a business. Now, the question is this. You have answered two questions. I earn 50,000. That's what I need in 10 years time. And for now, be real to yourself, because you can have some dreams that you cannot be able to achieve. Now, for now, it's 10,000. That's what I'm having that I can be able to save each and every month. Now, let's do a very quick mathematics. Let's say 10 years. Let's define 10 years. I know it's 10 years, but let's get the actual numbers. 10 years is made up of 12. A year is made up of 12 months. So simply we are talking about 120 months. So you need 120 months to plan yourself to retire. Now the question is this. I'm able to save 10,000. Therefore, it means 120,000 multiplied by 10,000. That means I have saved myself 1.2 million. True or not true? Now, the question is this. What kind of an investment do I need for me to generate 10,000, or rather to generate 50,000 per month as my, what we call, the interest. On a very serious note, let's say you even get an average interest rate of 10% out of this 1.2 million. Guess how much you'll be able to get per month? You'll be able to get 120,000, that is per year. Divide that by 12, you'll be able to get 10,000 per month. This is way below the target of 50,000. I hope we are still together. And if you've lost somewhere, pause the video, back up a little bit and come to where we are now. So now, then it means if we can just save somewhere or invest somewhere, which is giving us a return of 10%, and then if it's gonna give us 10,000 a month, then we are 40,000 short. That's what we want. Therefore, investment, it is a good investment, but won't actually fulfill that goal of ours in a period of 10 years. So what do we do? What do we do when we reach that particular place? Now, what we do is actually we do what we call the cheating process. By the way, did you know that in the world of finance, cheating is allowed? Okay, when I say cheating, I don't mean like the awkward cheating, I mean the legal cheating. For example, if you have a company and employ auditors to come and balance you the mathematics and what have you, you hire lawyers and what have you to do your job, you pay them. If you take that to a school system, that is cheating, but it's a legal cheating. So the same case we do when it comes to investment, so that we can shorten the period or we can increase, because the only option we have here is either we pull down this target of 50,000 to 10, or we actually find a way of improving this 10 to 50. Obviously, let's go with the former, or rather, let's go with the latter of improving this 10 to 50. How do we do that? Now, what we do is that you ask yourself, so if I rely entirely on investment, let's say you pick it an investment on a money market fund. Obviously, by the period of 10 years, you won't have yourself 1.2 million. You'll be having around 1.7 million or thereabout. Even if you take 1.7 million, that will give you approximately like 14,000 a month. We are still short of 50,000. So that would fulfill our goal. Therefore, how about we do this? In a period of 1 year, say 1 year, which is 12 months multiplied by 10, we have ourselves 120,000. Okay? That's what we've said. Now we ask ourselves, this is the money we want. And we need to have ourselves a system that can actually earn us something at the end of the day. Now, how about we start ourselves a business? Because a business is not by two things. Number one, it has a high risk, true, and it has what? High returns. Anything that has high risk has high returns. One of the question is this: can we even sacrifice our whole year savings? If let's say we sacrifice our whole year savings and we have 10 of them, then it means that we have actually 9 of them to actually try the best as we can. You can do this. You can actually take the period of year one, first year, to actually gather the information about that business that you can be able to start, that can be able to give you returns out there. And therefore, by the time now 1 year it's over, now you decide, but then now I'm clocking the second half of the year, or the half of the second year, I'm having myself approximately, that will be 6, like this one, this will give yourself around 180,000. You can decide, I won't risk my entire amount of money. I'll take this 120,000, start myself a venture, start myself a business. What business do you start? Again, go check my older videos, the factors to consider when you're starting yourself a venture or a business, so that you pick the appropriate one that can actually fit your case scenario. Let's say you start a business, and I always tell people, you can start a business and employ somebody. You can actually get this amount of money. You can get into goat farming. You can get yourself to animal farming. You can get yourself to poultry farming. You can get yourself to pig farming if you can be able to do that. You can get yourself into a business that does not have many complicated processes. And now how do you do this? What happens is that money that you get from this business, you sacrifice it. Guess what? You sacrifice it. You do not take this money and actually start to cater for your expenses. No, remember the eye on the 10 years period. That's where we have the eye. We want to get a system that can generate us 50,000 at the end of the month. Now, what happens? This amount of money that you're getting, or this business that you've started with 120,000, whichever the business that will be, and I've told you one thing, even before you start savings, you're supposed to understand one thing. Earning this 50,000, saving 10,000, your problem is not investment. Your problem is actually cash flow. Please, guys, learn to understand this. Not everyone has a problem with investment. Some people has a problem with money. This individual needs money. This individual needs cash flow. And the only way you can create cash flow is by investing it in a higher returning investment. Now, what happens with this amount of money? Let's say it's actually earning yourself approximately of, say, after recurrent expenditure, you pay your rent, you pay your worker who is actually running the business and what have you. This business, maybe let's say it pays you like let's say 20%. 20% of this will be like 24,000 Kenyan shilling. 24,000 Kenyan shillings. Let's even call it at around 10,000 Kenyan shilling. 10,000 Kenyan shilling. Not 10,000, but rather let's call it even 15,000 Kenyan shilling, just to be on a safer side. That's what you aim to get as a return from this business. Now you have yourself 15,000 Kenyan shilling. Now the question is this. Obviously, businesses, they do grow provided if you adhere to the rules and regulations that are supposed to be catered for. And this is what I want you to do. Remember, the salary for the first, or the savings for the first year, you've channeled it to do a business. The saving for the second year, I want you to have it in a conditional way. Either check out the performance of this business. You have a whole year to look at the business performance, and also you ask yourself, I have an extra 120,000 as of now that I've said for the second year. Should I pump that money back to the business because the business is promising, or should I actually take a different route of investment where my money is actually safe and secured? In short, what am I trying to say here? What you do is that you pick two things at the same time. One thing, you have a business that is running. I know it has a lot of moving parts, but remember, it's a 10 years of sacrifice. And then the 15K that you're getting from your business, you can decide this money, two things, I can subdivide it into two. Either I can decide to take 8,000, I pump into my investment, plus the one that I'm saving each and every month, that's for 10,000, I pump it into a savings. And then the remaining 7,000, I can channel it back to my business if the business is actually shows some signs of growth. In Kenya, businesses grow at a rate of 15%, sometimes can be less or sometimes can be more. Then if it grows at that particular rate, then it means chances of you earning more than this actually goes ahead and increases. So you can actually pull this business to a point whereby it's earning 20,000 a month. And guess what? Because I want you to play a game of two things. A risky situation and a safe situation. Remember one thing, the money that you're getting from the business, there's a chunk of it that is heading to a saving investment, or rather a safer place that is an investment, which you can pick a money market fund, for example, and maybe it's giving you a rate of 10% returns. And therefore, on the other hand, you're having yourself a business that is a little bit risky, of which I want you to play the game of checking out how the business is performing. Why? Because if you rely entirely on savings, you're not going to achieve this target in 10 years' time. If you rely on business, you can risk everything that you're having. 10 years time comes, you don't have two things. You don't have the money, you don't even have the time, you don't have even the savings, you have nothing. So I want you to have two baskets at the same time. This one helps you to shorten the period of increase the amount of money that you can save. So you're saving 10 from your savings from your of your employment if you're employed, and then you're saving at least 8 from the business. Now, when you combine the two, you're saving what we call the 18. You channel that as you look at the performance of the business. If the business tells you, I'm worthy pumping in more money, you again take money with the precaution, not all of it, but a fraction of it, pump it into the business so that you grow yourself. Understand yourself. Even if I tell you save 5,000 each and every month in a money market fund, that will give you a million bob in a period of 10 years, assuming that you're getting an average interest rate of 13%. But on a very serious note, that 1 million bob will never give you this 50,000 that you have as your income. So therefore, in 10 years time, you cannot be able to rely on that in savings that you have or investment that you have. So have a little bit of the business running on the side and a little bit of what we call the business running on the side, or the savings running on the side. So when you clash the two, when you combine the two, therefore you're having what we call the balance as far as the achievement of that goal is concerned. And I want you to do a very simple mathematics. If you're earning as less as, let me ask a very simple question. You have this 120,000. I was aiming at 24,000 a month. Let's even say you don't get that. You get 15. Let's even say you don't even get that 15. You get even just 10,000. That 10,000, and then you say, I may decide to channel 4,000 towards the business for the purposes of growing it. And again, the 6,000 I can channel it towards an investment. So there is the 6,000 and there is the existing 10,000 that you're saving. Therefore, you actually increase the basket of that what you're saving into an MMF if that's what you pick for your investment. Therefore, it means in a certain period of time, you'll be able to achieve that goal that you admire to achieve it. And that is exactly how you actually have a very working system, a practical, reliable system to achieve the retirement in a period of 10 years. That is exactly how you do it. It's as simple as that. I know it is easier said than done. Of course, I did not promise it is easier done than said. It needs sacrifice, needs effort, consistency for you to achieve that goal. But if I will tell you the truth, if you play the game of too safe, or playing safe too early, you may not be able to achieve that thing. By the way, let me ask a very simple question. Even if we lengthen this period, let's make it 20 years, and you're saving 10,000, say, in a money market fund, which is giving you this interest rate, you're going to get yourself maybe, say, not 2.5, let's give it at let's even say 3 million, or even 3.5 million. 3.5 million, that will give you 360,000 per month. Divide that by 12, that will give you less than 50,000. That's for sure. Because for you to earn this 50,000 a month, you need to have a portfolio investment of around 5 million to 6 million thereabout for you to earn this amount of money per month, assuming that you get an interest rate of 50,000. Now, how do you create a portfolio of 5 million within a period of 10 years, having saving 10,000 a month? Therefore, you do not have any other option but also picking the business route, because this one can be able to earn you something. And I said take it with precaution. Why? If you don't take it with precaution, you can actually sacrifice all that what you've saved and it goes to the down drain. Have something subjected to a little bit of high risk because it has high returns, another one subjected to a little bit of less risky and also obviously low returns. That way, in a period of 10 years, you're gonna achieve this. I'm not giving you some things that I'm not doing. I'm doing exactly that. So how about, by God's grace, you hold our hands, we hold our hands, and we move together, and we can be able to achieve this thing to the next level. That's Good Joseph speaking. And never forget one thing. This is a disclaimer that I always give you. Always contact your financial advisor whenever you want to make a decision when it comes to investment. Don't just pick anything and truncate it and use it. No. Listen first, share your portfolio investment, what you want, because your goal differs from other people's goal, because it is your goal that dictates what you need to pick for investment. For now, it's a goodbye and see you in the next time. By the way, you can always pick my number from the description of this specific video if you'd like my services. See you in the next one.